Hey, Charlie. Okay. Thank you for coming back. As we wait for everyone else to come on, you'll have to let me know if it's still got the same squirrely problems. Hey, Jen. Hopefully this is better. Charlie says it's okay. That's good, good, good. Hey, Roseanne. So you'll have to let me know if it looks clear on your end. Good, good. Thank you, Charlie. Hopefully we'll have a much better connection now. So far I have Charlie, I have Jen, I have Roseanne. Has anyone else come back? And I thank you for whoever gave me the thumbs up. I see 2 thumbs up on my video. Thank you. Ooh, Jen says, ooh, you get more thumbs. Oh, thank you. I now have 3. I'm so sorry that the internet's been so wonky tonight. I was trying to give it a minute to see if V was coming back on. I know, Jen. Jen says it's not your fault. I will definitely look at StreamYard to see what the differences are. Okay. Well, I don't know if Jen says they buffer too. I don't know if the others are just having difficulty finding us again. Jen, oh, I see what you're saying, Jen. They buffer too. Yeah, I have seen Ginger with Yarn Geek buffer some in the morning when she's using StreamYard, but it does seem to still maintain a better connection than when she's not using it. But you're right, we could all be on the screen together, and that would be fun too. There you are, V. We were just wondering if you were having problems finding us. She says, I'm back. I think kept going to the original one. Oh, wow. Yeah, that probably was confusing. I did put part 2 in the title, but other than that, everything kind of looked the same. I will probably sometime in January start looking at The Midwife and start creating a new thumbnail, because there'll be a new thumbnail with each movie series that we watch. All right. Everyone ready to start the questions back? So the last question that we had asked and answered was the one about Ferg pulling over the silver trucks. Thank you, Jen, for the thumbs up. All right. And I've got Roseanne with a thumbs up, Charlie with yes. And you ready, Miss V? And she is. All right. So the next question is multiple choice, and it's, what did Ferg drop in Riley Mannon's truck? Was it A, a driver's license, B, a rock, or C, his watch? All right. I've got everybody answering with C. C is the correct answer, Ferg's watch. And the first person that I am showing that rang in with the correct answer is Miss Jen. So congratulations. All right, next question. It is multiple choice. Yay, Kelly. Geez Louise. I thought we lost you. And then we had to stop that video and do a new one. So I'm glad you found us. All right, next question. This is multiple choice. The watch had a GPS, and when Walt found Riley, he returned his finger and put it where? A, Riley's hand, B, Riley's beer, or C, on the table? All right. Everybody rang in with the answer B for Riley's beer, and Roseanne answered with C, on the table. And the correct answer is B, Riley's beer. And Jen, you get the point. All right. Next question is multiple choice. All right. Who does Riley accuse of writing the letter and killing James? A, James's cellmate, B, Lucian, or C, Connie? And you guys, I forgot to check the answer. So I'm trying to remember. I can't remember. Ugh. Jen, ask Mr. Mike what the answer is. I agree, Roseanne. Ask Mike. uh, Roseanne has a laughing emoji. Oh, wait a minute. Which one is his answer? That is his answer. I thought B. Jen says repeat. Okay. The question is, who does Riley accuse of writing the letter and killing James? A, James's cellmate, B, Lucian, or C, Connie? I think I know the answer, though. James's cellmate? Is that what you're saying? A for Mike? Okay. That's what I'm thinking it was. I'm thinking that it was his cellmate. Yes. Okay. That's what I thought. So I apologize, y'all. I think that was the part where I fell asleep. I came home from work and tried to and fell asleep. All right. So let's go back and see. So Jen got A, Viola got A, Roseanne and Kelly got C, and Charlie got B. Excuse me. And Jen rang in first with A. So Jen gets the point. Because I know it wasn't Connie, and I'm pretty sure I threw Lucian in there just because of Lucian being the sheriff that was over the case. So I'm pretty sure that it was A too. So that's what I was thinking. Next question is true or false? Lucian and Connie are together. True or false? Oh, Jen says throw this one out. And then Roseanne says, yes, throw it plenty. Roseanne says out. Roseanne says, okay. All right. So I will take that one out then. All right. Jen says false. Well, everybody said false. About Lucian and Connie being together. And the correct answer is true. They were seeing each other. Jen, they did have a moment. I may just have to give everybody a point because when I wrote that, it was in the mindset of as the story was unfolding. And yeah, I could see where that could be confusing. Roseanne said, wow. V says, that's right. I had forgotten. Because that was the whole part of James being upset with Lucian. So I'm just going to give everybody a point then. Because I can see where that can be confusing. Did Janice come back with us this time? She didn't, did she? And Roseanne said fair. All right, so that puts Jen at 20. Roseanne has 13. V has 2. Charlie has 4. Kelly has 4. And I didn't see Deborah come back in either, but that puts her at 2. I know, right? 8 watching, 4 thumbs up. Everybody give me a thumbs up. All right. Thank you, Jen. All right. Next question. This is a multiple choice. Riley told Walt that he owes him what? A beer, an apology, or answers? A, beer, B, an apology, C, answers. All right. So for A, beer, we have an A from Jen. For B in apology, we have a B from V. And for C answers, we have a C from Roseanne and Charlie. And the correct answer, Riley told Walt that he owes him a beer. So Jen gets that point. All right. Next question is multiple choice. Who did Walt find with Connie? A, Riley, B, Lucian, or C, Hank? That was my son telling me he's on his way back, getting his truck. Sorry, y'all. I'm just going to tell him, okay, be careful. So I have Jen and Charlie with A, and Jen saying, okay, I see what you're saying, Jen. And then did we have anyone answer B for Lucian? Nope. And then C for Hank, we have Roseanne and Jen. Oh, I missed that. Jen, because Jen says because he put the finger in it. Yes. That's right. That's why he owed them the beer. You're very correct, Jen. And so the correct answer is C. And the first person to ring in with that is Miss Roseanne. Good job, Roseanne. All right. Next question, true or false? Walt recorded Connie's conversation. True or false? Jen says Mike said A, and then Jen says T for true. Roseanne says T for true. Charlize says F for false. And the correct answer is it was true. Walt did record Connie's conversation, and Jen was the first one to ring in. All right. Next question is true or false? Hank confessed to being jealous and killing James. True or false? All right, let's see. So I've got Roseanne and Charlie with true, and Jen and Mike with false. And the correct answer is false. Hank said that James had the abusive streak, not him. So the correct answer is false. And so that goes to Jen. All right. We are about finished with this episode. Who killed James? A, Hank, B, Connie, or C, Hank and Connie? Jen says Mike said F to Mike. All right, and everybody is coming in with the letter C, and that is correct. It was Hank and Connie, and Roseanne rang in first. So Miss Roseanne gets the point. All right, so we now have Jen at 23, Roseanne at 15, V at 2, Charlie at 4, and those are the only ones I see playing at the moment. All right, next question. It is multiple choice. What did Vic ask Henry for? A, a drink, B, a place to stay, or C, the ex-boxer's name? All right, I've got Jen and Roseanne clicking in with C. C is the correct answer, the ex-boxer's name. And so, Jen, you get the point. All right, the next one is true or false. Henry called Walt and told him about Vic's visit. All right, everybody is ringing in with T for true. The correct answer is true. And you guys came in the order of Jen, Roseanne, V, and Charlie. So Jen, you get that point, and that takes you to 25 points. All right. 2 more questions. This one is multiple choice. Walt told Ed, there's no greater enemy than who? A, enemy of a friend, B, an assassin, or C, a hormonal woman? And everybody rang in with the answer A, and that is the correct answer. Enemy of a friend. And the order you came in, oh, except Mike. Mike said C. Now. And the first person to ring in was Roseanne, then Jen, then V, then Charlie. And Mr. Mike with the definite wrong answer. Bonk! All right, Miss Roseanne, you get that point. And that takes you to 16. Last question. Walt threatened Ed. True or false? All right. Everybody answered T for true except Miss Roseanne. She said F for false. And the correct answer is true. Walt told him to get out of town while he still had a chance. So he did indeed threaten him. And that point goes to Miss Jen. All right. There are not as many questions in the next episode. So I apologize that we had so much buffering, though. All right. Episode 13. Yay, Jen. Bad medicine. Multiple choice. Who was on Walt's front porch? A, Lizzie, B, Vic, or C, Katie? Jen says, yay, guys. Charlie says, yay, everybody. And everybody is ringing in with the letter C. C for Katie is correct. And Miss Roseanne gets the point. Yay, Miss Roseanne. All right, next one, multiple choice. Who called Walt? A, Ferg, B, Vic, or C, Ruby? All right. I have everybody ringing in with the letter C for Ruby, except Roseanne. She rang in with A, Ferg, and the correct answer is A, Ferg. So, Miss Roseanne, you get that point. So we have Jen with 26, Roseanne with 18, V with 2, and Charlie with 4. All right. I told my son, okay, and be careful, and he's telling me, will do. Silly boy. All right. Next question. What did Ferg call about? Multiple choice. Oh, Roseanne says, whoop, whoop. That's right, Roseanne. So multiple choice. Ferg called about what? A, a dead body, B, a break-in, or C, a guy beat up in a motel? All right, I've got Jen and Roseanne with C, a guy in a motel, beat up in a motel, and V with a dead body. And the correct answer is C, a guy beat up in a motel. And that point goes to Miss Jen. All right, the next question. It is multiple choice. Excuse me. I jumped ahead. It is multiple choice. All right. The guy that was beat up in the motel called whose phone 30 times in the last few days? Was it A, Detective Fales, B, Vic, or C, Katie? All right, I got Jen, Charlie, and Roseanne with B for Vic. And V for A for Detective Fales. The correct answer is Vic, and that point goes to Miss Jen. All right. This next question is true or false. Ferg assumed that Vic was having an affair? And everybody rang in with T for true, and that is correct. And Miss Jen was the first one to ring in for that one. V, you were like right on her heels. All right. Next question is multiple choice. We're looking for A, B, C, or D. What did Ed accuse Walt of doing? A, sleeping with Vic. B, beating him up. C, hitting him from behind. Or D, all of the above. All right, so I have Roseanne with, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. She said she didn't know there was going to be a D. So yes, the correct answer is D. It was all three. And the first person who rang in with that is Jen. All right. Next question is true or false. Walt asked Vic if she slept with Ed. Did Walt ask Vic if she had ever slept with Ed? I've got Roseanne with false, V with true, and Jen with true. And the correct answer is true. Walt did ask Vic if she'd ever slept with Ed. So V, you get that point. And Charlie answered with false. Roseanne says yes, T for true. So Vic, you get a point. Yay! That takes you to 3. So I've got Jen with 30, Roseanne with 18, V with 3, and Charlie with 4. Roseanne says, yeah, B. V has a smiley face. Roseanne says B. Roseanne says, good job, V. So you guys are doing good. Good sports. All right. Next question is also true or false. Vic and Ed had an affair while Vic was married. That's right, V, moving right on up to a deluxe apartment in the sky. I'm just kidding. All right. Jen says false. Roseanne says true. V says false. Charlie says true. And the correct answer is false. They had an affair before Vic married Sean, but Ed was the one who was married. So Jen gets that point. All right. Multiple choice. Who called Walt on the phone when he and Vic were talking? Was it A, Ed, B, Matthias, or C, Henry? All right, I've got Roseanne with C, Jen and V with B, and the correct answer is B. It was Matthias. And so that point goes to Miss Jen. You guys, Miss Jen is just like kicking your movie trivia booty. All right. Next question. Multiple choice. Jen says it's Mike. V says on fire. Jen's saying she's got help. All right. Number 10. Who did Matthias have in handcuffs? A. Branch, B. Henry, or C. Jacob? Oh, I'm sorry, Shirley. She said she had dogs bugging her to go outside. That I completely understand. All right. Jen said A. Roseanne said B for, I guess, Branch. And Charlize said C. Oh, V, I'm so sorry. I skipped over you, love. You're right behind Jen with B. I don't know if your B was B for Henry or B for Branch. I'm assuming B for Henry. The correct answer is Branch. There is another time in this episode that Matthias had somebody else in handcuffs, but early on in the episode, the person he had in handcuffs was Branch. And so Jen gets that point correct. All right. And I'm not going to talk about the other person just yet because it comes in. Hey, HD, we are still having this live. We had to stop and kind of reboot because the lagging was awful. So yes, welcome back. And Jen says welcome back. All right, so we're now on the last episode of the season. We're on 13. All right, number 11. Charlie says, welcome back, HD. And HD says, cool. All right. What did Matthias catch Branch doing? A, looking in window about to break in. B, a cross-county line out of jurisdiction. Or C, speeding on the res. HD says, just popping, can't stay long. And Jen says A, V says A, which is looking in windows about to break in. HD and Roseanne said B, a cross-county line out of jurisdiction. And Charlie says A. Guys, I'm actually going to give everybody a point. The correct answer is actually A, looking in a window about to break in. But if I'm honest with everyone, HD and Roseanne still technically should get a point because technically, even though that's not why Matthias put handcuffs on him, technically Branch was out of his jurisdiction because he does not have jurisdiction on the res and therefore really had no business being there without consent, sort of. So I can see where that could be a misleading question, even though sometimes it's hard to come up with fake answers for these multiple choice. But so I'm going to give everybody a point for that because that's only fair. All right. Next question. Matthias said, this is multiple choice. Matthias said Branch can have his vehicle back after what? A, community service, B, pays a fine, or C, becomes sheriff. All right. I have Jen, Roseanne, and V with B, Charlie with A, and HD with C. And the correct answer is B, pays a fine. And Miss Jen got that answer first. All right, the next one is true or false. Branch told Walt he was there because he was looking for Jacob. True or false? All right, I've got Jen and Roseanne with false, V and HD with T for true. And the correct answer is false. He had a lead on Katie's accident, so that's why he was there. He was following up on that lead. And the first, I know, HD. She said, never heard the story before, just pick the random answer. Hopefully you'll get a chance to watch it though. It is a great show. Jen again won. Yes, she did. She got the point. Go, Jen. All right. All right. This is true or false. Walt turned around and went back to the res. True or false? Jen says, thank you. Actually, she said, thanks. All right. Everyone said T for true, except HD, who said F for false. And the correct answer is true. And the first person who answered correctly was Charlie. You go, girl. All right. The next question is multiple choice. Walt and Branch found a suicide note on what? A, paper, B, camera disc, or C, painting? All right, I've got Jen and Roseanne with B for camera disc and Charlie for C, painting. The correct answer is B, camera disc. And I have Jen coming in first. All right, next question is multiple choice. Okay, making sure I didn't miss. I thought Charlie had come in after that, and I was going to respond to hers, but I see that I had already done that because Jen and Roseanne were the two with the correct answer, and Charlie was the only other one who answered. All right. Multiple choice. Branch told Walt that Ridges worked for who? Now remember, Ridges is the guy who committed suicide. That he worked for A, Jacob, B, Matthias, or C, no one. He personally tampered with Katie's car. HD, but want to pick different answers than others. All right. I've got HD, Roseanne, and Jen with A, V with B, and C, Charlie with C. And the correct answer is A. It was Jacob, and HD got that answer correct first. So, whoop, whoop. All right. 17. True or false? Branch told Walt that he was going to talk to Jacob about it. So HD said, HD won, yes. Whoop, whoop. Give yourself a pat on the back. Roseanne says, yay, HD. Jen says, yay. And so then everybody said false except Charlie, who said true. And the correct answer is false because he told Walt that he had already talked to Jacob. Not that he was going to, but he already had. And the person who rang in first with false was Jen. Woo woo! Jen is rocking this. All right. This one is multiple choice. Ed told Vic that he wanted her to what? A, feel what it feels like to have everything taken away. B, divorce Sean. Or C, move back to Philadelphia. Sorry, guys. HD says, now I have to give the prize for the less points. Jen says, I'm slowing down and getting sleepy. I hear you. I'm getting quite there myself. Let's see. So, my answers have run together. So the last one was true or false. So then I have Charlie with A, Roseanne with A, Jen with A, V with A, and HD with B. The correct answer is A, feel what it feels like to have everything taken away. And Charlie, my friend, woo woo, you get that point. So how about that? That now gives you 7 points. All right, next question. Multiple choice. Who did Walt and Branch bring in on what happened to Ridges? A, Ferg, B, Matthias, or C, Henry? I'm going to try and pick the pace up a little bit, if that's okay. All right. HD said B. Charlize said B. Jen said C. Roseanne said C. And the correct answer is C. And that point goes to Miss Jen. All right. Next question is multiple choice. Walt told Branch not to go in hot on Jacob. Branch said he would be what? HD says, woohoo, Jen. Way to go, girl. Branch said he would be A, polite as a kitten, B, cool as a cucumber, or C, chill as a popsicle on a summer's afternoon. HD said A. Roseanne said N. Charlize said B. Jen said B. Roseanne said B. And V said B. The correct answer is B, cool as a cucumber. And that goes to Miss Charlize. Miss Charlize rang in first. So now we've got Jen with 39, Roseanne with 19, V with 4, Charlize with 8, and HD with 4. And HD says, woohoo, Char. Way to go, girl. All right. Multiple choice. Vic told Walt that Ed was going to file a police report and name who as his assailant. A, Walt, B, stranger, C, Vic. HD says, congratulations, Jen. You got 39 and winner. HD says A, and everyone else says C. C is the correct answer, and I have Jen coming in first. All right, next one, true or false? Walt told Vic that if Ed files that report, she will not be able to work there anymore or anywhere. HD says, the answer is C, and I knew it. I have to tell you, I know that you've not seen the show, but you have truly made my night. I love your sense of humor, and I really, really am so glad that you're with us, HD. All right, everybody said true except for V, and the correct answer is true. He told her that if Ed files that report, she would not be able to work for them anymore, and she would not be able to get a job anywhere else. And the first person who rang in with that correct answer was Miss Charlize. Woohoo! One more point, Miss Charlize, and you will have 10. AC says, oopsie. I did T, and everyone says T. All right. Roseanne had said yes, HD. Okay. Next question is multiple choice. Jacob told Branch he did what with David Ridge's body? A, burned it. B, buried it. C, pushed him off a cliff. All right. Everybody rang in A except for HD. A is the correct answer. And the first person who responded with the correct answer was Miss Jen. So, whoop, whoop, Miss Jen. Now, I'm just making sure that wasn't my son, and it wasn't. All right. Next question, multiple choice. Who left Hector a note in a jar in the rocks? Jen says, way to be different, HD. HD says, I want to put the answer quickly. Then others, I don't know the correct answer, but my aim is what now? I want to put the answer quickly. Then others, I don't know the correct answer, but aim to want to put it quickly. Have I told you lately that I love you? All right. Who left Hector a note in a jar in the rock? A, Jacob. B, Ridges. C, Walt. Keep talking to me, HD. You separate my answers, making it easier for me to decipher between questions. And let's see. Well, look at you, HD. All right, so I've got Jen and HD with C for Walt. I have Roseanne and V with B for Ridges, and Charlie A for Jacob. And HD says no matter what is the answer. The correct answer is C, Walt, and Miss Jen got there first. Miss Jen has taken this by storm. Way to go, Miss Jen. All right. Next question, multiple choice. Hector does not care about his reputation, but what does he care about? A, the Cheyenne. B, right and wrong. C, the land and the reservation. HD said C. Oh, I'm a second, maybe a second behind. All right, so we've got Jen with B, HD, Roseanne, and V with C. And the correct answer, nobody got right, and it was A. He said he only cared about the Cheyenne. So nobody gets a point. All right, next question, multiple choice. Who showed up at Walt's cabin with a search warrant? A, Lucian. B, Detective Fales. Or C, Matthias. And HD says, and the correct answer is A. And yes, everyone got that answer correct. HD, Roseanne, Jen, V, and Charlie in that order got it correct. So HD is going to get the point with Detective Fales. Look at there, HD. You got it right, my friend. All right, next question is multiple choice. When Matthias showed up at the Red Pony with a search warrant, what did he call Henry? What was his Indian name? Was it A, long-haired eagle, B, handsome warrior, or C, standing bear? HD says HD won. Yep, whoop, whoop. Jen says whoop, whoop. And Jen and HD and Roseanne and V all rang in with C for standing bear. Charlie said A, long-haired eagle. If I had my way about it, he should have been named handsome warrior. But the correct answer is HD. C, standing bear. And our lovely Jen gets another point. Whoop, whoop. HD says B. Yep. Whoop, whoop. All right, next question. It is multiple choice. What did Detective Fales let Katie keep when he was doing the search of Walt's cabin? A picture of her mom. B, the book she was reading when they entered the cabin. C, the tea box. HD's doing the happy dance. All right. HD and Charlie said A picture of her mom. And Jen, V, and Roseanne said C, the tea box. And the correct answer is the tea box. And the point goes to Miss Jen. All right. Next question, multiple choice. What did Detective Fales tell Walt he found? A, a witness, B, a fingerprint, or C, a shoe print? This is in Denver. What did he tell Walt that he found? HD says B again because no one picked it. And for this question, HD, Roseanne, and Jen and V all picked A, and Charlie picked B. The correct answer is A, and Miss HD got it. Whoop, whoop. All right. Next question, multiple choice. What did Walt tell Detective Fales his story was lacking? A, facts, B, proof, or C, evidence? Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. HD corrected me. Not Miss. I am Mrs. Laugh out loud. That is important, my friend. That is very important. All right. HD and Roseanne said, oh, excuse me, and Charlie said C. And Jen said A. And V and Mike said B. The correct answer is C, evidence. And the first person to ring in was Mrs. HD. Which brings you, my friend, to 7 points. So we've got Jen at 44, Miss Roseanne at 19, V at 4, Charlie at 8, and HD at 7. All right. Next one is true or false. Branch wanted a sample of the soil to test for David's bones. Branch wanted a sample of the soil to test for David's bones. David Ridges is the one who killed himself, and Jacob burned him. HD is doing the happy dance. Jen says, wow. HD says, oh my goodness. Jen says T. Roseanne says T. Viola says T. HD says F. And Charlie says T. And the correct answer is going to go to Mrs. HD because the answer is false. He wanted to test the sample of the soil to test for David's DNA. All right. So now HD and Charlie are tied. All right. Next question. Multiple choice. Jacob said no, he could not test the sample because it is sacred ground, and David is now with who? A, Indian spirits, B, y'all, I'm so sorry for my husband, crazy dogs, or C, the land? A, Indian spirits, B, crazy dogs, or C, the land? Now that we're getting to the end, y'all's competitive spirit is coming out. Where was this in the beginning? So, Jen, tell him not to change his answer. You always go with your gut choice. So, lots of answers coming in here. Jen says, I'm tired. I know, right? The correct answer is actually B, that he was now with crazy dogs. And so technically Mike got the correct answer. And then Roseanne, as far as scoreboard goes, came in with the correct answer with B. Making sure no one else above that. So Mr. Mike gets the credit because he actually said it first. But since he's not collecting points, Miss Roseanne gets the point. And Miss Roseanne, that brings you to 20. Oh, Jen says he didn't. AC says, I'm the first. I'm the first. All right. Next question, true or false? Jacob let Branch take a sample. Okay. That's what I was looking at, Roseanne. I honestly, when I saw your answer come in, I did look. And F is right next to G. So everybody answered false except for Charlie answered true. HT says I said B. The correct answer is false. And I can see where Roseanne would have gotten that correct first. So I am going to give Roseanne the point. All right. Next question is, you're welcome, Roseanne. No, don't be, because it is late. So I fully get it. HD says, nope, I did it first. All right. Next question is multiple choice. Sean, this is Vic's husband, did not take Vic's news well. And when the phone rang, he suggested that it might be who? Ed, A, Ed, B, another ex-boyfriend, or C, Walt? Okay. Jen says, Mike said he wants you as a teacher. And Jen says he'd have a 4.0. And HD says B. Roseanne says B. V says C. Jen says B. And Charlie says A. And the correct answer is B. And that went to HD, got it first. So look at there. Mike, I thank you for the compliment. I believe in fairness. And A for effort. And correct answers. Just maybe not all in that order. All right. Next question is multiple choice. Now tie crossed. With Charlie, you are. You and Charlie are tied, HD. Now you're leaving. All All right, next question, multiple choice. How did Walt respond to Detective Fell's comment that he may have more questions? Did he tell Detective Fells, A, to write the questions down, B, took Ferg's cell phone, or C, said, too bad, he's a sheriff with a job to do? And everybody rang in with B. He took Ferg's cell phone. I got HD, Roseanne, Jen, and Charlie, and that is the correct answer. And HD took the point, taking her ahead of Charlie by 1 point with 10 points. All right. Next question, multiple choice. What was blocking the road when Walt was taking Hector to the next county? A, Henry on a horse, B, cow in the road, or C, a hitchhiker? HD's, let's see. All right, Jen says, even a squirrel gets a nut sometimes. That's right. All right. All right, sorry guys, I was having to take a look here. All right, so Roseanne's laughing at your comment, Jen. All right, so I've got Roseanne, HD, V with, oh, and Jen with A. And then I have Charlie with B. And the correct answer is A. And that point goes to Roseanne. So whoop, whoop, Miss Roseanne. All right, next question. Multiple choice. Who did Henry tell Walt the horse was for? A, Walt, B, Hector, C, Katie. HC says, nope, me. I've got everybody with the correct answer except HD, who said A. Oh, and said, you missed me. I am the first told. It may show up in your list that way, but I go by how it shows up in my list. And the correct answer is B, Hector, and that goes to Miss Roseanne. All right, next question is true or false. Henry told Walt that Hector killed a man for him. All right. I have everybody ringing in with T for true. HD has F for false. The correct answer is true. And Miss V, you got it first. So congratulations. All right. And that brings you to 5 points, V. All right. Next question is multiple choice. What does Hector call Walt? A, a cowboy, B, sheriff, or C, lawman? Roseanne says, yay, V. V says, yay, me. HD says, good night, sleepy. And everybody is saying C. And Charlie said A. And the correct answer is C, lawman. And that answer, that first response, correct answer goes to Mrs. HD. Good job. All right. Next question, true or false? Hector did not kill the meth head that killed Walt's wife. True or false? Hector did not kill the meth head that killed Walt's wife. Charlie says, all right, HD, you're beating me now. Neither one of us are in the show. And let's see. Everybody is saying true. Roseanne's laughing. Emoji laughing. And HD said F. The correct answer is true. He did not kill the meth head. And that point goes to Jen. And simply because we're getting so late, we're not going to discuss it. But oh my gosh, y'all, if it wasn't Walt and it wasn't Henry and it wasn't Hector, who the heck killed the meth head? Anyway, and that is question number 2. I had a discussion list, but we're gonna wait and we'll start our next time together with those discussion questions. We're just going to finish off the questions tonight. Let me see what this HD says. Now Charlie got prize because of less points. Right. Charlie says laugh out loud. HD says no, I think V got prize. Yeah, V's only at 5 right now. Charlie has 9. HD has 11. Roseanne has 23 and Jen is at 45. All right. HD says, all right, 11:30 p.m., almost midnight. Bye, everyone. Good night, HD. Thank you for hanging with us. Jen says, you all get the prize. That's right. V says, it's called Booby Prize. Jen says, 12:30 here. It's 12:30 here too, Jen. So we're going to wrap this up. Next question. Hector told Walt, this is multiple choice. Hector told Walt and Henry he is not what? This is Hector. He's telling Walt and Henry he is not what? A judge, B, a killer, C, a bad man. V says night, HD. HD says I'll see you in next Sunday. That's right, next Sunday. V says 11:30 here. Charlie says night, HD. All right. Jen says bye, HD. And we got answers coming in. So, oh, sorry, HD. CST means time zone, Central Standard Time. Yes, you're right. Oh, so you're saying Central Standard Time, see you in next Sunday. Okay. So that would actually be 5 p.m. your time then. Because I think you're an hour behind us, I think. Love you too. Bye-bye. Thank you again for coming and hanging out with us. All right. So Jen said B, Roseanne said C, V said C, and Charlie said A. And the correct answer is B. And so it was killer. And so that does go to Miss Jen. Congratulations. All right. Next one is true or false. Hector did not even lay a finger on the meth head. We know he didn't kill him, but he also did not lay a finger on the meth head. All right, Jen and V say false. Roseanne says T for true. The correct answer is false. He didn't kill him, but he did beat him up pretty good, which is why Henry has his teeth, because Hector knocked his teeth out and brought him back to Henry, so Henry would think that he killed him. But he didn't. He just beat him up and got his teeth. So that point goes to Miss Jen. All right. The next one is true or false. Walt said Hector was the only one who did not have murder in his heart. Walt said Hector was the only one who did not have murder in his heart. Oh no, your answers are mixing together. Okay, I see where they stopped. Okay. Okay. And Roseanne, you're correct. So Roseanne and V had said T for true, and Jen said F for false. Then Roseanne says Henry said it. Roseanne says right, Jim. And that is correct. Jen, you did get it. It was Henry who said that. So Jen does get the point. All right. Multiple choice. Katie's mom taught her to always put $50 in her purse and the rest where? A, her boot, B, her hat, C, her pockets. Okay. So Jen said B, then she said oops and said A. V said B, and Roseanne said C. All right, Jen says I sleep pushed B. Okay. Well, you're the only one who said A anyway, and A is the correct answer. Her mom taught her to put the rest in her boot. Multiple choice. What color was the purse? A, blue, B, red, or C, brown? The purse that Katie's mom had with her the night she died, what color was it? All right, everybody answered C, brown. That is incorrect. So the first one to do Mike said green. It wasn't green. It's either A or B. The first one to type in the right number gets it. All right, so then Jen said A, Roseanne said blue, which would be A, V says B, and then Jen said B. The correct answer is B, red, and V, you technically got it first. So you are now up to 6 points. All right, we're almost done, you guys. Multiple choice. 2 of the movies listed on the matinee screen when they scanned past it were, and you're probably going to have to make a guess because you probably weren't even paying attention to that matinee screen. That's right, V. She says, look at me charging ahead. Roseanne says, yay, V. Were the two matinees, there was 3 matinees listed, but I can only get 2. Was it Cowboy Range and Dusty Saddles? That was A. Or B, Dinosaur Bones and Serpent Dragon? Or C, A Serpent's Tooth and Minden 2? That was meant to be a challenging question. Well, I see you, my friend. I see you with the right answer, Miss Roseanne. It was challenging, Jen. And it is C. And I'm trying to go fast because it's getting so late. So, yes, Miss Roseanne got it. Charlie said C. V says, I am challenged. Roseanne says, yay. Yes, it was actually A Serpent's Tooth and Minden 2 was what was on the matinee screen. So Miss Roseanne gets that point. All right, multiple choice. What did Walt say was his job to try? A, solve crimes. B, protect everyone. Or C, enforce the law. And Jen says, yay, Roseanne. And Roseanne says, thanks. And I've got Jen with B, Roseanne with C, V with B. And the correct answer is B, that he tries, his job is to try and protect everyone. So Miss Jen gets that point. Tore a hole in my paper with the pen. All right. Multiple choice. What did Walt say about Vic coming back to work? A, no. B, start now. Or C, take a vacation. Everybody got the correct answer. C, take a vacation. The first one on my feed that rang in was Miss Jen. Then it was Roseanne, Charlie, and V. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 questions left and we'll be done. True or false? Walt told Branch he got called into his own office. Way to go, Jen. And everybody is ringing in with T for true. And that is the correct answer. He did get called into his own office. I was making sure it wasn't one of the questions coming up. By Detective Fails. And Miss Jen rang in first with that, with Roseanne behind her and V behind her. All right. Next question. Multiple choice. Who did Detective Fails arrest after finding Meth Guy's teeth? Detective Fails did not physically arrest this person. He sent somebody else to do it. But who did he have arrested? A, Walt. B, Henry. C, Walt and Henry. Look at you. I see you, Miss V. She says, Standing Bear. Jen says Henry B. Roseanne says B. And all three of you ladies are correct. And Miss V takes that point, not only with B for Henry, but by his Indian name, Standing Bear. All right. Next question is multiple choice. How did Walt react to Henry being arrested? Jen gives thumbs up. V gives a smiley face. So the question is, how did Walt react to Henry being arrested? A, he did nothing. B, went to find Henry. C, tore up his office. So everybody is answering C. That is correct. And yes, Roseanne, you're right. Jen got it first. And I do see where you had A and then C. Yes, the answer was C. He tore his office up. Boy, he was mad. So Miss Jen gets that point. All right. 2 questions left. And they're both multiple choice. First one. Now, who called Walt on the phone? At the very end of the episode, before the season ends, somebody called Walt on the phone in his office after he destroyed his office. The phone was on the floor. Who called him? A, Branch. B, Henry. C, Ed. Yeah, I kind of gave the answer away in my mess up there, but yes, Miss Jen, it was Branch, and everybody got it right, except Roseanne and V. They said Henry, and V said Ed. The correct answer was Branch, and that went to Miss Jen. And so this is how it ends. Last question. Who shot Branch? A, Jacob. B, Matthias. C, Dead Man. If you said C, Dead Man, you had the correct answer. And the first person to ring in with that was Miss Jen. You ended your score on a perfect number. So that was all the multiple choice true and false questions I had. I did have 7 discussion questions. We will discuss them when we come together next Sunday on the 29th. Yes, on the 29th. So let's tally up our score real quick. We had Miss Jen with 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. 55 was, and we know Miss Jen won. Congratulations, Miss Jen. Miss Roseanne had 5, 10, 15, 20, 29. Miss V had 7. Miss Charlie had 9. When Deborah was playing, she had 2. Miss Kelly had 4. HD had 11. And Miss Janice didn't really play long with us, and she had 0. So Charlie says, I got to mark that down so I can be here next Sunday. And I hope you will, Miss Charlie. And also, just so you know, if you are subscribed to my channel and receive and have the notification bell set for all, you will get a video reminder on Wednesday of this coming week. And you know what I may do, you guys? I may actually set that video reminder for Friday, because when it's Wednesday, it's because we're doing it in 2 days on Friday. So if it's okay with y'all, I might actually do the reminder on Friday night so that it's 2 days before we actually do it on Sunday. So if you're okay with that, give me a thumbs up. So Miss Charlie, that reminder will go out, if everyone's okay with it, on Friday night to remind y'all about Sunday. But I do that every week. I send a video reminder. Thank you, Miss Charlie. Let's see, what else is everybody saying? Yes, Jen, I agree. Congratulations, everyone. Congratulations to Jen. Great job, everyone, says Jen. Charlie says, congratulations, Jen. And Jen says, fun times. Roseanne says, yay to Jen. Jen says, thank you, ladies. That's fine. So everybody's okay with me doing that reminder on Friday. Jen says, that will remind us not Friday night, too. That's correct. That's correct. Because that reminder will come out at 8 o'clock, and we would normally meet at 9 o'clock. So that will be great. And I'm getting thumbs up from everybody. All right. So to finish the night out, because Miss Jen is the winner, Miss Jen, and I had my husband move my Longmire basket so my son could sit. So I'm going to go run and get my card. But Miss Jen, I need one color for the next section. So I need you to think through the 12 colors in our Longmire blanket that you want to add next. So while you're doing that, I'm going to go run and get my card. And while she's deciding that, I'm going to show y'all one more time the stitch that you will be doing Monday. And that is it here on the top. What is my yellow and white? Which would be whatever your 11 and 8 is. So where my white is, that'll be whatever color your number 11 was. That's the color Jen picked last week for winning. And whatever my yellow is will be whatever your number 8 is, and that's the color Miss Roseanne picked last week. So 11 and 8 was picked, and that's the pattern stitch for this coming Monday. Jen, actually it would be the number because everybody's colors are different. Boy, I got to go wash my hair. It looks awful. Sorry, y'all. Didn't mean to bring all this hot mess to y'all tonight. So whatever color it's whatever color you want, Jen, but whatever color that number is associated with that color is what we need. And she said number 7. So that for me will be the real teal. So whatever your number 7 is what we'll do. So for me, it'll be this color right here again. So that's what I'll be adding. That'll actually be pretty. That'll help set that brick stitch. It'll kind of accent it because it'll have that, for me, that teal. And it should be the same for you guys if you're going by the numbers. So y'all, that is so pretty. And for Jen, it will be her purple. Sorry. Anybody else want to share what their number 7 will be? And so I know a couple of you were talking about that you're still behind a little bit. So, and I'm sure it's probably you're caught up here on the triangle part of it. That was a very long section. But luckily, all of this is very easy. And this here that is coming out Monday, it looks complicated, but it is not. I promise you, those are extremely, very simple stitches. you will work them up quickly because they're actually all basic stitches. This here is just a matter of doing a chain and doing the stitch down here. And you're skipping the stitch that's behind the bar. So my lighting is really bright, so you're probably having a hard time seeing that. But anyway, they're all simple stitches. The stitches that will be done for the section that Jen just gave us the color for will also be simple stitches, because then that next section we will be doing something a little different, meaning it won't be hard, but it won't be just straight across basic stitches. So you've got some time to catch up with these simple basic stitches. And even this Suzette stitch right here was still basic simple stitches. So anyway, Jen says, I haven't picked mine up yet. I'm working on a paid item first. And that I understand, and I respect that. Jen says that's cool. Okay. All right, guys. Well, we are going to go ahead and call it a night. Again, this was fun. If you haven't done so, before we close out, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up on this video, I would appreciate it. I'm showing 7 people on here right now and 3 thumbs up. So I would appreciate your thumbs up. And again, I will send a video out next Friday reminding you about Sunday. Oh, wow, V, your 7 is teal as well. And your 11 and 8 is peach and pumpkin. Ooh, that's going to be pretty, because you'll have that teal then, and then you'll have the peach with the pumpkin, and then the peach and that teal again. That is really pretty. Oh, wow. Well, V, I know that I haven't gotten any pictures of your blanket to date. So if you get a chance, sometime over the next week, take a couple pictures if you don't mind and email them to me. So, all right. Well, that is it for tonight. It was another fun night. Sorry that it went so long. Sorry for all the internet issues. And thank you, V. And I love you guys. And I am actually really, really excited that we're going to come together next Sunday and not miss a weekend together. So, all right. Everybody go get some sleep. Go get some rest. And I will see you soon. Another quick reminder, be looking also for this week, Tuesday or Wednesday, for my fall giveaway to come out. I'm real excited about that. So, all right. I love you guys. Be joyful. Stay crafty in your own way. Make your own joyful creations this week. And I will see you soon. All right. Be joyful. Bye. Good night. Sweet dreams.